Hello, everybody. I'm Geoff Laughton from yourrelationship.architect.com, and I help individuals and couples design, build, and learn how to maintain their dream relationship, which really boils down to helping people get to the patterns and dissolving the patterns that are keeping them and their relationship stuck, with keeping them uninspired, uncreative, not very passionate, and is also often has them seem like they're in a celibate relationship. And I help them clear that out so that you can get back to living yourself and your life and your relationship from a place of creativity, inspiration, passion. Yes, I said passion. And to really be able to take it all forward to your heart's content. So I want to talk with you today about an issue that I see a lot amongst my clients and friends, and really, to be honest, that I've seen in my own relationship. And that is the fact that when we first get to be with somebody, we are in love, our hormones are going crazy, and we just want to have sex all the time. And then eventually we want to be in deeper relationship with somebody. We want to be able to spend our lives with somebody if it gets to that point. And then this funny thing happens, where over time, all of that yummy, juicy sexual desire and almost borderline obsession that we can have with our partner or our prospective partner kind of begins to fade and be overtaken by quote-unquote real life, normal life. So here's the thing. When that happens, here's one of the ways you can know, and this is what the subject of my chat today is. You start choosing to do laundry or some other household chore rather than having sex with your partner. So I got to thinking, why is that? What has us do that? And so here's a few things that I've learned over the years, and in full disclosure, that I've seen in myself when I kind of fall asleep at the wheel. Now, first, I want to point out, though, that there can be physiological issues or biological issues that contribute, particularly as I'll delicately say, get a bit older, middle age, senior age. That would be me. And the body goes through changes, and with men, there's testosterone issues that can crop up, because in case you didn't know, men, it now seems, we go through our own kind of menopause. So hormonal things can be at play. Not just testosterone, but thyroid issues also can have a huge amount to do with libido, erectile functioning. So that's something, if you really are noticing that your libido is dropping off, it never hurts to go find out whether there's a hormonal and or other biochemical cause behind it that could really be easily remedied with supplementation. For women, as they get older, in case you don't know, then, vaginal lubrication changes, intercourse can be painful. There can be other things that happen structurally with women after they've had children. So, my first piece of advice is to just make sure that all is well underneath the hood. But then here's what I think is more often really going on. When we are in the early stages of our relationship, we are in that state of, goo goo gaga, hormonal overload. and we want to just be humping at every available opportunity. So when that begins to drop off, my experience is that something that's happening is that there are a population of elephants that are living in your relationship's house. That is, elephants in the middle of the room, and then to some degree, there's undoubtedly elephant shit lying around under the rug, hidden away in different places so that nobody sees it. So what I'm talking about is a term you may or may not be familiar with, and that's the term withholds. As in, I'm really angry with you, or you really hurt my feelings, and I don't quite know what to do about it, or I have my blocks around communicating and talking, so I'm going to just try and figure it out in my own head. Bad move, by the way. But I'm going to try and figure it all out, sort it out, and then if I can ever get my shit straight, then I'll come to you and maybe I'll talk about it. Sounding familiar? So we withhold communications that we are afraid are going to upset our partner, or it's going to hurt their feelings, it's going to piss them off. So we just stuff it. And given that sex, ideally, inherently has more attractive power than laundry or vacuuming, then you want to get back to what sources your desire. And in my opinion, the number one thing that sources desire at an emotional level, because just speaking as a dude, if there's desire, when I've had desire for my wife from day one, well then my body does what it does, and there's some rather self-evident proof that I have desire. And women have their own version of that, obviously. So when that's not there, then here's what that really means. That means that I have gotten disconnected from me. It can look like you're disconnected from your woman or your man, but actually the real disconnect is with you. And one of the greatest causes of that kind of disconnect is stuff that our mind makes up, stuff that's happened that's upset us, patterns of acute discomfort with confrontation, beliefs that confrontation, conflict is really bad. So we do everything we can to avoid it. But the problem is the energy of an upset, the energy of disappointment over something, the energy of just being fucking pissed off at your partner, it doesn't go away all by itself. So as a mentor of mine is fond of saying, what you have to do is you've got to be willing to go into those emotions. Don't believe the story or the meaning that your mind is going to make up about what you're feeling. But the feelings are genuine energy, and if you avoid it or turn away from it, it just kind of sits and ferments and rots in your system. Well, just imagine how sexy and turned on you're going to feel when you got all that going on. So, my number one pro tip for today, to start having laundry become less important than sex, or connection, if you will, is you've got to reconnect with your own heart. And to get to your heart, we often have to go through our ego. We have to go through our ego and our mind. So we have to go in there and kind of pet it like a puppy to get it to calm down and relax, so that your heart and your spirit and your private parts can re-engage with connection that sex just happens to be a very deep and potentially profound expression or form of. So when you realize that things aren't really happening in the bedroom, there's the first place I'd recommend, once again, after you've made sure that there's not stuff going on physiologically that's getting in the way. You want a clean house. And I'm not talking about vacuuming or laundry. I'm talking about cleaning this house and cleaning that house. And once you've done that, then there's room for connection. One last thing. One of the biggest excuses that I've heard from scores and scores of women, when I say, when you first were with your partner, were you guys having a lot of sex? Yes. And did you enjoy it when it was happening? Oh, yeah. Was it fun? Oh, yeah. Okay, then what happened? And another thing that I hear a lot is, well, we had children. So children definitely create a wrinkle. My wife and I raised 2 of them, so I know firsthand how that can get in the way or interfere. So but if you really prioritize your heart connection first over your children, so that connection that you two have energetically creates a safe container for your children to feel what they might be feeling, to know and feel that they're loved, but that they're not in charge of your relationship, that your relationship isn't hinging on them being okay for you to stay connected, then you find a way to be creative. You find a way to keep sex important. You look more closely at how much you've committed to doing as a parent and see where things might be adjusted a bit so that your love life, and I mean your sex life, your emotional intimacy, your intimate communications, has some time prioritized for it, no matter what. Then sex is going to come back more likely than not, as long as you've done that house cleaning I was mentioning a few minutes ago. I'm going to check and see if there are any questions. I will keep in mind connecting with my partner over the elephant, and then maybe together we can persuade it to do the laundry for us while we go to bed. I love that. Yes to that. Great idea. All right. Thank you for spending a bit of time with me. And if you enjoyed this and you want to be able to have more of my tips and suggestions and experiences with working with so many people in their relationship to themselves and their life, come back to this page, facebook.com/buildyourdreamrelationship, and you'll be seeing more and more free stuff coming on here, more videos, more sharing. That's one place. My website also will have all of this, www.yourrelationshiparchitect.com. Please feel free to comment. If you're watching this as a recording and you got some things that you want to share, questions you have, then please, by all means, if you're on Facebook, put some comments or private message me. If you're not on Facebook, but you really liked what you heard, or you want to know more, or you have specific questions, then just email me, Geoff, Geoff, at yourrelationshiparchitect.com. I will answer, I promise. I love hearing from people. All right, everyone, be well. Start doing less laundry and doing more talking. Wishing you all the best in your relationship. Take care.